Dr. Sloan and the Cube Queen have finally been defeated, and the entire world as we know it has been turned on its head. It's a new chapter in Fortnite, a new story to uncover, and it's all built around the Seven. To understand what will happen in this season and beyond, we first need to travel back in time to Chapter 2. The Invasion and Cubed storylines brought together two powerful teams to do battle. The Imagined Order, the guys who up to this point have had full control over the 0 point and the reality we call Zero. And their opponents, the Last Reality, a misfit band of aliens and cube devotees, led by the Cube Queen herself. Over both seasons, IO, led by the incredibly intelligent and frighteningly manipulative Dr. Sloan, found a way to place a team of operatives on the mothership before blowing that thing out of the sky. This caused debris to hit the island, including cubes and more cubes. This then revealed the Cube Queen, who brought together the Convergence and attempted to take control, or destroy the island, whichever came first. The Loopers set up for the final battle and were assisted by a rogue Last Reality cube glowing blue. He helped stave off the attack, but it was all in vain. The Last Reality were far too strong, and IO and the Loopers were defeated. Of course, that's not how this story ends, as the Seven, led by the Foundation, came back to the island to make this battle a three-way fight, three factions going head to head to head for supremacy, above ground and below. In the IO facility beneath us, we see Agent Jones shackled and interrogated by Dr. Sloan herself, when the Foundation arrives to break him free. To truly understand why a member of the Seven would free an IO agent requires a little more backtracking to the Primal season. This was the moment in time Jones resigned from IO and created a pact with the Foundation to save reality from the clutches of the Imagined Order. Jonesy was thought to be lost on the island, becoming another Looper, but it's now confirmed he was picked up by IO, who have been extracting information from him for weeks or maybe months.
It's done. Initiate phase 2.
The two members of the Seven above ground, Scientist and Visitor, were outnumbered by the Last Reality and reverted back to their original plan. It turns out what happened next was not the end of their plan. The Visitor, who hasn't said a word, flew off back into space, while the Scientist and a bunch of us Loopers began an escape attempt on foot, jumping down into the IO facility towards the 0 point. We met up with Jones and the Foundation and were told we had reached safety. But the Last Reality did not relent. A caretaker dove deep underwater and broke the glass, flooding the bridge. Reaching the surface, we watched as the Cube Queen was submerged, ending the attack by the Last Reality, at least for a while. A new island was discovered, a new world to explore, and a new chapter began, and the Foundation finally gave us an explanation about the entire storyline we've been living through.
I suppose I owe you an explanation. We've all been through a lot the last few years, and there's much more you don't even remember. You've all fought the good fight, but until we set the 0 point free, we'll be facing threats like the Last Reality, and worse. There will be no escaping it. That's why I need your help to destroy the Imagined Order. As long as they're exploiting the 0 point, everything is in danger. With your help, we can free ourselves from this place and leave the loop for good. We can all go home.
Oh, so Flat Earthers may be onto something. Reality Zero is a single island all alone in the depths of space. The Foundation gave us 3 key points about the chapter moving forward. 1. The Last Reality is not the only threat coming for the 0 point. We should expect other factions to try and claim its power. Maybe this will be how Midas and his shadows come back into the story this chapter. And we should never count out IO and Dr. Sloan. 2. Our purpose is to destroy the Imagined Order to free the 0 point. And 3. Once we've done all this, we can leave the loop and go back home, wherever home may be. Before we can stop IO, our task looks to be bringing the Seven back together. They are more fractured than we first thought. From what we've heard, some of them are missing completely, and others just aren't friends anymore. Before we look into that, let's check up on the ones we know about. On the new island over at the Sanctuary, protected by the Foundation, are 7 rock columns. Thanks to the file names, we are almost totally convinced each of these stone pillars corresponds to a member of the 7. The Foundation, the Visitor, the Scientist, the Paradigm, and the newly depicted characters, the Sisters and the Origin. Somehow we need to reunite them all. We've seen 4 of them so far. The Visitor, the Scientist and the Foundation all work together to flip the island, yet the Paradigm was not part of this mission and she is still to be seen officially. Already this chapter, the Scientist has given us an insight into the Paradigm's influence on the future story. Through a secure broadcast, the Scientist's audio logs tell us, well, listen for yourself.
Paradigm, it's me. I'm guessing you heard what happened. Look, I know our history is complicated, but I want you to know I never lost faith in you. Okay, I did, but only for 5 minutes, maybe a few weeks tops. It's hard to believe that someone who went through what you went through would hold the line, but I know you did. So we really do not deserve your help right now, not at all, but we need it.
From these early season comms, we know that flipping the island is only one step towards freeing the 0 point, but more importantly, we now know that members of the 7 do not trust the Paradigm. Something has happened before we joined this story which fractured the entire relationship of the group, and in particular the Foundation and the Paradigm. These two don't get along, so I'm expecting a punch-up when she finally joins the story.
I know that among our ranks there are still some mixed feelings about the Paradigm, but for the sake of survival, we need to think of her as an ally. We are the 7. We have a duty to rise above grudges and petty disagreements for the greater good. And yes, Foundation, I'm looking at you. I can see your face through that mask. Regardless of the past, there is no future without her.
The Paradigm has once again pinged the 7, suggesting she is closer than they know, and as the season goes on, we will learn more about her and her importance to the storyline. Can I add my theory now? If you know me, you'll know I've always believed Paradigm is Singularity. They are one and the same person. Here's what I think happened. Paradigm created an alter ego, Singularity, to get close to the 0 point, acting like a double agent inside the imagined order. This is evidenced by her helmet being left on the desk the last time we saw a stable 0 point. To defend that 0 point from attack, Singularity created a mech. This would mean she saved us, but she also is responsible for weakening the 0 point, claiming some of its power to get through that battle, causing cracks and ultimately destabilizing reality. This would explain why the 7 lost all faith in Paradigm and will struggle to trust her again. If this is true, Paradigm will have some explaining to do, and I don't think Foundation will settle for a conversation. He'll want a fight. But don't trust this is just a theory, a Fortnite theory, which means absolutely nothing. Yet. Back to those pillars again though. The members of the team we don't yet know about are the Sisters. 2 rocks can be found side by side, suggesting the Sisters are exactly that, extremely close members of the team. We have heard about them once before from the Foundation. The moment he and Agent Jones made a pact to work together, it was due to 2 name drops, Geno and the Sisters.
Geno! I can get you to Geno.
And the Sisters?
I can get you all of them.
So the Sisters are confirmed to be members of the 7, and that seems to be the only reason Foundation saved Agent Jones in the last live event. And the final member of the 7 is the Origin. We know absolutely nothing about this member, yet judging by their name, they were there at the beginning when the 0 point was created. The origin of it all. I can't wait to find out who that is. I wonder how many people think the last member of the 7 will actually be the mustard we call Donald. How meta would that be? The loopers on the island all remain trapped and destined to repeat the same 22 minutes until the end of time. Yet some members have escaped the loop and live outside of it, but still on the island. Look around and you'll find the Joneses, former snapshots forced to fight in an endless war over the 0 point. And already the Scientist has asked us to check if they can be trusted. It seems that alliances on this new island are fraught and uncertain, just like the relationship of many members of the 7. But wait, we do know the name of the big bad guy coming to the future of Fortnite. For many seasons now, we've known Geno is important to the Foundation. He sacrificed himself to protect the 0 point thanks to that one word from Agent Jones. And since then, Geno is confirmed to be in control of the 0 point. And as we have always been told that IO control the 0 point, we've all jumped to the conclusion that Geno is a high-ranking member of the Imagined Order. And IO aren't out of this story, they are just stuck on the other side of the island, for now. Whether Geno and IO attack us first, or the 7 become proactive and take the battle to the Imagined Order. It's surely all coming during Chapter 3. But one step at a time, my friends. We first need to reunite the 7, and will we finally have proof that the Paradigm and Singularity are one and the same person? Chapter 3 is going to be one hell of a time. I'm Adam, you're awesome. I'll see you next time.